Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Day 3 of the National Rock Racing Association Finals Weekend here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in Kentucky. This weekend is presented by Yukon Gear and Axle, so a big thank you and shout out to them and to all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do here with the NRRA. We've got a full lineup of racing coming at you today. Lots of racing action already happened, our last 2 days of racing. And we are looking forward to wrapping everything up today and seeing who's going to end up on top of the box and be getting those trophies tonight. You guys are joining us here on Hillside Live. I'm Bree Molitor. I've got Matt Holt with me, and we are excited to be watching this racing action with you today. Matt, how you doing this morning?
Yeah, it's an early morning. We were up late goofing around last night. Again, shenanigans were had, I'm sure. Last day of racing, so this is for all the doll hairs. This is for all the chips, all the trophies. The entire season of barrage and pushing your buggies to the max comes down to today. So this is where all the points matter. Again, we've seen things shake out. We watched some of the point totals come in today. Obviously, Clyde was kind of doing some monkey math last night, getting everything figured out for us, and a lot of the racers were also had their little clipboards checking stuff out. Cheryl Davis helps keep us honest, so going in, looking at point totals, again, looking at that. Also, these next two courses, a lot of drivers last night were saying they think it's going to be just comes down to not necessarily how hard you can push the buggy, but just completing the next two courses because they are so rough, so violent, so tough. Just being able to get a finish and not having a DNF, I think will really come into play, though. So that's super important, being able to just complete that course. But we're going to take a quick moment, take a quick prayer, and thank everyone and appreciate everybody tuning in for us. Lord, thank you so much for letting us all come out here and have a wonderful time and doing something we passionately love to do. Thank you for showing love to us and let us have fun. Please keep your hand upon us, keep all of our spectators safe, and let everyone have a safe time going home. And here I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Well, that's live television for you, but we got things started off the right way here with the anthem and a prayer, and we are ready to get to some racing now. We are going to be starting off with our UTV teen/amateur class. You're going to see all of our classes running at least one course today to wrap up their season. I mentioned we've had some great racing already our last 2 days. Definitely some highlights from that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of drivers were working really hard last night, too, to get things fixed and ready, taking apart, cannibalizing, we say, one buggy in order to fix another and keep them in the running. So we're going to be talking more about that as we get into our different classes throughout the day. But like I said, we're starting off with our UTV teen class, and I do see somebody on the line ready to kick things off for us.
Yeah.
So let's head to the line. Brantley Havens is ready to go and going to be starting off Day 3, our last day of racing here for the 2025 season finals. Quick rundown from Course 3 of yesterday's racing with the teen class. Brantley had the fastest time, followed by Jace Northington, Josie Northington, Caden Schaefer, and Sadie Ellison. Brantley is also our points leader. He had a 15-point lead coming into the weekend. Now, of course, we've already raced 3 courses for the weekend, so the points have shifted a little bit, but Brantley is our points leader for the teen class for the season.
Brantley, our first driver to graduate from our youth program. They top out at the age of 12. You can finish still, once you hit 13, you become a teenager and opt out of the youth class. So now we started our amateur class. So he's the first guy to graduate from our youth program. So excited to see him out still racing with us. Getting out here, giving a heck in his UTV. And again, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. What a massive jump it is to go from those little 170s that are two-wheel drive all the way up to a 1,000cc all-wheel drive machine. So
it is a big jump, and that's where the teen class was kind of born for this 2025 season. This is our first year doing it, and we kind of wanted to have something to bridge the gap between the youth class and jumping right into, our stock or cup or one of our other full-size classes. So that's where we came up with this class, and we've had a solid handful of drivers in it doing an awesome job all season long.
That's an 86.813 from Brantley Havens, kicking us off with our amateur class.
a little discussion on the course here. It's never easy being the first one out on the course. The first one out of the whole day.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
Again, going out and double-checking. They were making sure that he made all the flags correct. And, again, being that first guy, you're kind of the guinea pig out on the course. And some of these courses get longer and longer as the weekend goes on. You have more turns going uphill and downhill. So, again, especially the guys racing multiple classes. You know, guys like Brandon Davis, Daniel Heckley, who are racing UTV and big rock bouncers. So a lot of confusion. They want to make sure you keep everything straight while you're whipping through the course.
Caden Schaefer out on the course now.
Again, this is course number 4 for our amateur class.
That's okay. They all do that, Caden.
Yeah. And sometimes after you start modifying so much, linkage maybe needs slight adjustment.
That's just a regular old rattly transmission right there.
There we go.
All right, good course correction from Caden. So one of the things about our teen class is because this is a class for them to learn, to get experience, seat time, get confidence behind the wheel. We do let them have a little bit of autonomy with the class and be able to weigh in on if they, does everybody want to hit this obstacle or have to go up this ledge? And we give them the option and kind of let them vote on that and let them have that ownership, of that being their class, and give them a little bit of opportunity to weigh in on how they want to run their courses.
And that is such a big hill out here on this Mickey Thompson Mountain. Again, and these ledges do not do it justice on camera here. These things are super steep and super gnarly.
That's right. If you've never been able to make it to a race in person, you don't have that that perspective of what the hills really look like in person. You're just going to have to trust us that everything out here is a lot bigger and steeper and taller, the ruts are deeper, whatever, than it looks on your screen right now. 132.636 for Caden Schaefer. Looks like we've got Josie Northington out on the course now.
And her and her brother last night were out doing some trail riding a little bit.
Josie started racing with us about halfway through the season at Fiddler's Bend in Oklahoma. It was her first race with us. I know. Everybody was impressed with how she just came out the gate full tilt.
She did. She was absolutely full tilt racing. Thanks, Taylor.
Josie had a second place finish on course 1. Unfortunately, she did have a DNF on course 2 when she got a little stuck about right where she is now. Looks like she learned from that experience and figured out the best way down the hill.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing yesterday. I think that was definitely the safe bet to take as you're coming down the hill, looking down that long gauntlet with no trees to stop you from rolling all the way down. I probably would have made the safe decision there too. That's a 104.032 for Josie Northington. Again, I think that was kind of a safe bet. This isn't like, she wasn't in the top contender for points. She wasn't battling for the championship. To me, I'm like, you know what? Save the car. Save yourself, too. Let it come back and do some more racing this weekend. No sense in trashing the rig and, destroying it for, possibly ending up third on the podium. So I think that was a very wise choice.
Speaking of third, we've got Cody Ellison on the line now, and she is third in points coming into the weekend behind Jace and Brantley. Sadie, another one of our drivers that started out in the youth class, and then when she aged out, she was able to join in this teen class this year. So our youth class is for drivers 3 to 12 years old, and then this teen/amateur class is for 17 down to 12. So a little something for them to continue to gain that experience and the racing seat time before jumping in with some of our other classes, if that's what they want to continue doing. And we have actually seen Brantley racing in some of our other classes last year before we had the teen class. Brantley jumped in the stock class. Yeah. He's even raced in the bouncer class before.
We've seen a lot of racers jumping from class to class. We saw Clara Hobach do the same thing earlier this season.
Clara races in our youth class, but she did what we call kind of like the decision race. All of our youth racers are allowed one race in the teen class so they can get a feel for it, see if they're ready to go ahead and move up yet or not, even if they haven't quite aged out yet. So she did a great job with that.
I think that's good too. Kind of let them dip their toe in it, see if they like it, see if it's something they want to advance to. Plus, I think also anytime you bump up to another level and race a higher level of competition, and then you go back to your level, I think it makes you a little more confident. See what her time's going to be.
102.181 for Sadie Ellison. Jace Northington on the line now. We did have Maddie Darnell racing with us for course 1 and 2. Unfortunately, after a rollover yesterday and a dented cage, she wasn't able to continue with us today for course 4. So Jace Northington is going to wrap up course 4 and the 2025 season for our UTV teen class.
And they have battled it hard all year long. Again, especially Josie and Jace out there just thrashing back and forth with each other.
Well, and Brantley has been just dominating in the class as well, doing a great job with some really consistent runs. Jace is just getting faster and faster, I think, every time we see him out on the course.
Yeah, and you could tell they take it very serious. They were out walking the courses this morning, looking there. They were asking questions to Clyde about which flag they have to turn after. Is it okay to go above here? And again, it's really to see him taking that serious, even though this is more of an amateur class.
Right now, the time to beat for Jace is that 86.8 from Brantley. And he's already making his way down the Super Grip slope. Speaking of Super Grip, this is the Super Grip UTV teen class. Super Grip was a huge part of us making this class a reality. So a big thank you to them.
.277.
And that is your fastest time for course 4. that does wrap up our Course 4 and our 2025 season for the Super Grip UTV teen class. I'm going to give you that top 5 rundown from the course now. Jace Northington had the fastest time with that 84, followed by Brantley Havens with an 86. Sadie Ellison with a 102, Josie Northington with a 104, and Caden Schaefer with a 132. Well done to our teen class on an excellent day of racing and an excellent season. And with that, we are going to take just a short break, and we'll be back to continue with our UTV Cup class racing number 4. See you guys in just a sec.
There's only one tire brand that can call itself legendary. Rebirthed from the depths of Baja and representing decades of racing heritage, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. This dominating tire is purpose-built for thrill seekers everywhere. The new Baja Legend MTZ. It's time to get what you really want in a tire. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound for enhanced wet performance. PowerPly 3-ply construction for sidewall protection and responsive handling. Improved 4-pitch side biters for bold looks and off-road grip. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. Gear up and roll with the American mud terrain legend, the Baja Legend MTZ.
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to head into Course 4 for the RCV Axle UTV Cup class now. And before we send Madison off the line, let's take a quick look at points and how things are standing right now coming into today. Clay Kaysen is in the lead with 949. Cooper Bentley in second place right now with 901 points. Dylan Dowler in third with 898. Dustin Medley in fourth with 778. And Matt Myrick is rounding out our top 5 with 755.
And again, coming in sixth place is Ethan Hunt. Stunt driver will be Wade Good. Casey Howe coming in 7th, Jesse Phillips coming in 8th, Braden Upchurch coming in 9th, and Madison King, who's sitting on our starting guide, rounding out that top 10. Again, that iconic pink wrap on there is always easy to stand out. Her and Dylan Dowler, I think, have the brightest vehicles out there.
Well, and speaking of standing out, Madison is our only lady driver in the Cup class, our only seasoned driver for sure, holding it down and representing for all the ladies out there. She does an awesome job with that. She's not afraid to show these boys what's up. I think Madison she's definitely had an interesting weekend of racing so far. She's had about 3 rollovers, I think. One of them she did kind of backflip and land it and still continue on and finish the course. So she is definitely not afraid to send it. And she is also racing our bounty class as well. That'll tell you something right there. Just a reminder, this is Course 4 for the Cup class, so this is going to wrap up their season right here.
Again, you can see how steep those ledges are by how the back tires just kind of carry.
Nicely done.
It's an 87.527 from Miss Madison King. Again, I know we had a driver's meeting this morning. We were talking about who's not racing, and there's a handful of drivers in every class we have that have been knocked out, whether by course or breakage or just something going wrong with the buggy. We've seen a lot of weird breakages this weekend, although last night, after the violent wrecks we had yesterday, we had a lot of repairs. So it'll be interesting to see once we get, like I said, right now we're in that UTV Cup last course of the weekend. So to see how many guys actually make it to that last course, not just in the UTV class, but any class will be very interesting. I know our bouncer class, they're kind of weeding them out pretty quick so far. So we have 2 courses with the unlimited and limited bouncer class coming up later this afternoon.
Well, we got Jesse Riley on the line. Speaking of people that have been working on their vehicles, trying to get them back in action, he wasn't able to do course 2 and 3 with us. And after a DNF on course 1, I know he's just glad to have a buggy that is running, and hopefully we'll be able to see him get across that finish line today.
I think that's a good point. Sometimes literally you're just like hoping to have it running by the end of the weekend.
Well, I think I heard him say they put a new motor in it, but then it broke a diff or something like that is why he wasn't able to get in on course 2 and 3 with us. But whatever it was, I know he's been busy at work trying to get back in action here. All right, he did miss a turn. I think he's got it figured out and is coming back to try and correct his course here. We'll find out.
Man. They're saying they think they hear something broken.
Man, tough break for Jesse Riley. Yeah, that was... That was a course correction right on back home to the pits here.
All the way back to the pit. There we go. Man, you hate to see that. But again, getting some points.
This is Alston Tidwell on the line now. Alston also races in our bounty class. Third in points in bounty right now. So
he's been out thrashing all weekend.
He's been busy and just being able to keep the buggy together for
it's true.
All the runs that it has to make this weekend. I don't know what happened right now, but this isn't looking good for Alston.
Yeah, if you're racing bounty and cup, that's 8 courses that you have to keep this thing together for.
Did I just see a tire laid over? We need another drone flyby.
Yeah.
Get a view of that. Oh, no. As we were just talking about trying to keep it together.
It was. Yeah, talking about 8 runs. I mean, putting 8 courses together is really hard to do with one vehicle out here just because these courses are so brutal. But it sounds like he broke a passenger front tire. Sounds like he maybe broke a knuckle or C or something.
All right, everybody. If you're just tuning in with us, welcome to the show. You're watching Hillside Live with Matt and Bree, and we're on our last day of racing here for finals with the NRRA at Wildcat Off-Road Park in Kentucky. We're just a couple of drivers into course 4 for our UTV Cup class. This is their last course for the whole season.
Yeah. Again, this is for all the monies.
We just wrapped up our Super Grip UTV teen class, their final course for the season.
You can see Keith, our recovery expert, pulling up there. All right, we're going to check out the course map, why they get him recovered. Again, we talk about all the racing guys do, and we've seen several people get lost this weekend. This is course number 4 for the UTV Cup. This is like our unlimited UTV class. You can see how many flags are out there, how many ups and downs, and we've kind of thrown several courses up throughout the weekend. You can see how confusing these are. There's so many uphills and downhills, especially on the right half of that Mickey Thompson Mountain. There's so much going on that it's very, very easy to get lost, especially when the buggy's getting bounced around. You're trying to look for flags. You're whipping by stuff. And, again, when you're pushing as hard and as fast these guys are running, it really can lead to you missing a turn, sometimes not even because you wanted to, just because the buggy pushed you past it. So thanks. Appreciate that, Taylor, for throwing that graphic up there for us. But it shows just kind of how crazy some of these courses are.
Yeah, so the drivers all receive the course maps a couple days before the races once Clyde gets everything lined out and set up. So they have the chance to study those maps. They also have the opportunity to pre-run before the races and, of course, to walk the course and get up-close look at it and pick your line through the obstacles.
I said some guys are worried about breaking the race buggy during pre-running, so they'll walk the course or they'll take their e-bike or scooter or side-by-side. Cooper Bentley has a golf cart that he uses on a regular for pre-running. So come out, kind of check out the course, look at stuff, and kind of figure out their game plan and go from there. But very great to see those guys out kind of pre-running and checking it out. All right, we're going to let them get recovered. We're going to take a real quick commercial break, but we have an entire day's worth of racing action coming your way, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We're back. You can see Keith, our recovery expert, out there getting Austin pulled off. Again, I'm not sure exactly what happened. They said they had the front tire was laid over. I'm not sure if that was a hub or a arm. Who knows? But unfortunately, I do not think he's going to be coming back for our bounty class later today. If it's
that's a tough break.
Yeah.
Especially because Alston was third in points in the bounty class. Letting them finish getting that course cleared, get all our safety and recovery crew back in position, and then we'll be sending David Darnell off the line.
David's daughter also races with us, Maddie Darnell.
Yeah, she was racing in the teen class.
Again, our family that races together stays together.
That's what we like to say.
They're out on the hill checking it out again. You think they both walk the courses together, or they both walk their respective courses alone? Like, Dad, you go over there, I'll go over here.
I know, me and my dad we would walk the courses together and kind of compare notes, on how we thought we would handle the certain obstacle or whatever
Makes
section
sense.
of the course. And sometimes our notes lined up, and sometimes they did not.
They did not. I can see that.
You can see Maddie walking over there right now. Maybe she's got some notes to go give.
She's like, Dad, all right,
David before he takes
here's
off.
what you got to do. No, I know Maddie does a lot of pre-running. Her and her dad will hop in there, and they'll go pre-run her car together during her course. So.
Clock is hot. Here we go with David Darnell.
David's been a heck of a hard charger this season. And again, that's twice as much work. He has to keep his UTV Cup car going, but also keep his daughter's car going. So again, he has to be constantly thrashing in the shop, kind of keeping parts together, diffs and axle shafts. So he has I'm sure, a great maintenance program.
I think they're going to be working on Maddie's cage after yesterday, too.
Yeah,
Little rollover. It's all right. That's part of it. Anything can happen when you're racing. Nothing like a little time in the shop, too. A little quality time. Together. And that's just as much a part of it as the actual racing and walking the courses and everything else.
Yeah.
Time in the shop fixing stuff.
Woo. I love seeing those back tires just kind of hang in the air for a second as they're dropping down.
Nice.
There we go.
95.287 for David Darnell. So far, we've had 2 drivers across the finish line. Madison King with an 87 and David Darnell with that 95 now.
Looks like we're almost halfway through our Cup Series, and we have 2 times.
There's been a little bit of attrition in the class, and then we have had a couple DNFs. I see Dylan Dowler on the line, though. We know he's going to be looking for a nice, fast pass.
Yeah, another guy who keeps 2 rigs going all at the same time. He races our stock class as well as our UTV Cup class, and does a ton of maintenance, I'm sure. He's very competitive. Earlier this season, he won both classes in the same weekend, so that was kind of cool. Got to take home 2 first-place trophies. Very awesome.
Well, Dylan is 3rd in points right now for the Cup class. Also had a 3rd-place finish overall at our last race at Rush Springs Ranch a few weeks ago. He is chasing Cooper Bentley right now. Cooper's in 2nd in points in the Cup class. I know Dylan was doing plenty of work last night, too, putting both vehicles back together.
Yeah, it's hard when you got to work on 2 at the same time. Like we have, all the cars are broken. Again, I know a lot of our UTV guys were doing some monkey math last night about, all right, if this guy finishes here, if he takes 2nd, he takes 3rd over here, but they don't finish there, that'll move me up to 2nd. So it was very interesting.
And then sometimes it just all goes out the window as soon as you hit the hill.
They had their point matrices going, so.
This is a really good run from Dylan. This is definitely going to set the bar.
He's flying. That's a 73.451 for Dylan Dowler, and that looks like our new leader there at 73 seconds. That was a smoking time, Bree. Again, this next guy is definitely going to try to upset the apple cart, though. Mr. Wade Good sitting in that race line starting gate.
I think that Wade is sitting at either 6th or 7th in points.
Okay.
He was 7th coming into yesterday, but I think he might be in 6th now. But either way, he's trying to work his way up the list there.
And again, with having this many DNFs, there's a real good chance he could actually come back and score some points here. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, he could end up sneaking into the top 5.
Yeah.
And Wade didn't even race the full season with us for the Cup class.
Again, Wade started out racing a UTV with us in the National Rock Racing Association. And then started racing the big bouncer, but he still hops in a UTV from time to time.
Yeah, he jumped in for Ethan Hunt's position, took over his points earlier this season. And with Casey Howell electing to focus on the bounty class and miss some of the Cup racing instead, that kind of gives Wade an opportunity to jump up into the top 5.
Yeah, Wade is absolutely on fire right now, just smoking that corner, whipping around there, and is flying downhill right now. We'll see what this time's going to be. It's going to be fast. Here we go.
Wow. 68.057 for Wade Good. That is your new leader, and that is going to be really tough to catch. Speaking of our top 5, I see Matt Myrick on the line now. Matt 5th in points, I believe, at this point. After an unfortunate DNF on course 1 on Thursday, Matt was able to come back and get 2 third-place finishes on courses 2 and 3 with some very solid runs.
Again, Matt's had pretty good luck this year. Ended up on the podium earlier this season. See how we can do on this corner here. So we saw Wade just blasting around this corner. And then pushing this downhill right here is really where you can make up some time. It looks like Matt's flying through there.
He is sending it. With a flat tire, and it's not slowing him down at all.
That's a 78.570 for Matt Myrick. And again, not a bad time. I think that's like third place.
That's a third place time right now on course 4. Got about half a dozen drivers left on course 4, the final course for the 2025 season of our UTV Cup class right now.
Again, this guy right here, Clay Kase, pulling in. He's going to try to upset that apple cart of points. Again, this is his last chance to lay down a fast time. Try to squeak in some more points.
He is our points leader right now. Here we go with Clay Kase defending his top spot right now. Time to beat is a 68.
Something is definitely wrong there.
Oh, no.
Brother Cody running out to see what's going on. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think we're about to see Clay on a mission more than we ever had before, though, after that.
He is flying through there. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened coming out of that race line starting gate there.
We haven't seen him have any issues yet this weekend.
And it's running fine now, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. And again, being there so dusty, it could have got a bit of dust and debris, and any one of the sensors could cause a little bit of a reading. But
you know that's frustrating for Clay. And I mean, look at this pass that he was able to lay down here. Unfortunately, with that 30 seconds wasted at the beginning.
Wow.
So he had a 95.749 and took off at about 30 seconds. So he would have had the fastest time.
Man.
But, man, I guess, like we say, anything can happen
It
when
really
you're
can,
racing.
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it's so dusty out here. A bit of dirt could have gotten a sensor or something and just, temporarily not let it read correctly. All right, we got a top 5 here for you guys. Ethan Hunt, again,
That's
has
Wade
a stunt
Good.
driver. Wade Good. Dylan Dowler coming in second. Matt Myrick sitting in third. Madison King coming in fourth. And David Darnell wrapping our top 5 for course number 4 here at the finals for the National Rock Racing Association. Martin Stewart last night, he said, I gave parts to like 8 or 12 different side-by-sides last night.
I know. I heard him say he was working on like 6 different UTVs, and
Yeah.
none of them were his.
Yeah. He's like, I gave parts to everybody. He's like, none of them were mine. It was crazy.
There was a lot of that going on last night, though, and we were talking about that. We all take note of that kind of stuff out here, and we're constantly saying that's one of the things that really sets this sport apart from so many others is that camaraderie that happens on the course at the end of the day, getting ready to race. Everyone is out here, they want to help each other be their best, and they want to beat each other at their best because the competition is definitely there.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure the guy that you're beating is running 100%. That way you straight up beat him. And again, Martin has a chance to end up on the podium for this weekend, so he's definitely going to come out and try to lay out some quick times here. There's such big rock ledges right there. You can see him kind of working through there, trying to get up that top.
We've seen Martin lay down some nice, smooth passes this weekend.
Yeah.
He had a 4th-place finish on course 3 yesterday, a 5th-place finish on course 2. So definitely nice and consistent. He's got a really good run going right now. .307 for Martin Stewart. See Cooper Bentley on the line now. In case you missed it yesterday, speaking of drivers doing some work on their rigs, we saw Cooper try and make his run on course 3 with a ratchet-strapped engine block, I believe, in the chassis.
Yeah.
Leaving straps behind on the course.
He actually ripped the bolts out of the engine block, so now he stripped out the bolts, stripped out the motor mount, so he cannot bolt the engine back in. So they're going to have to figure out something else later, but right now he has just a ratchet strap holding in. They broke the turbo, a diff, and a handful of other things. They took it to Wade Good, who only lives 30 minutes away. Loaded it up 2 nights ago, took it to Wade's house, literally had everything back together. He said, we pulled in the shop at 8 o'clock, at 11 o'clock he was loaded on the trailer to head home. So
that's pretty good.
Impressive. I'm sure Kenneth Cozine was there, a handful of them just thrashing to get it done. So definitely awesome to see that many guys jump in there and help out. And again, Cooper, unfortunately, was dragging the ratchet strap as he was headed back to the pits. But
it's almost like it wasn't quite made for that application.
Yeah, it was definitely not.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You got to at least give it a try, though. This is not the first time we've seen somebody make a run with a part ratchet strapped on. We saw Ben Driscoll do that at Pretty Place earlier this year as well with his axle. So Cooper is defending his 2nd place spot right now for the overall points championship. Oh, easy there, Cooper.
again, those hills are awful steep. Again, those rock ledges and that Mickey Thompson Mountain are
they're no joke, that's for sure.
That thing is thrashing through there. He is doing an awesome job for literally a buggy that's band-aided together. He is doing an awesome job. All right, let's see what this time is going to be. That's a 93.568 from Mr. Cooper Bentley. Again, he had that thing literally like, bubblegum and baling wire holding that thing together right now. So, but
that's pretty impressive.
That was their last course, so he gets to kick back and relax at least a little bit for the UTV Cup class. Now, he does have a bouncer still to try to put on the podium later today, but at least his side-by-side time is done
can
racing.
Finally take a break.
Yes.
Jesse Phillips on the line now. So the time to beat right now is still that 68 from Wade Good. And then we've got Dylan Dowler with a 73 and Matt Myrick with a 78. Those are your top three right now on course 4. The last course of the season for our RCV Axle UTV Cup class. Looks like we've got just 2 or 3 drivers left after this.
You can see they did water the course a bunch this morning before the racing started. Unfortunately, sun comes out, dries up all that rain, and very quickly it can start getting dusty again. But it will help a little bit. You can see some of those big rocks kicking around as he's blasting up this hill.
This is Jesse's first season racing with us here. Got a full season under his belt. Been making some really good, smooth, and consistent runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this shot. It shows how steep these things really are. Usually the front wheels kind of carry for a half a second or two, and it kind of shows literally you're vertically straight up and down. And it's so awesome to come out and do these extreme courses, because then you go back and trail ride with your buddies, and you're like, oh, this is nothing. This is a piece of cake.
.550 for Jesse Phillips. I think we all know who this is as soon as he takes off the line with just one listen. But this is Dustin Medley.
Yeah, I think he has the most iconic sounding UTV out here this weekend. Again, his turbo, I think, definitely always is very iconic. They have it dialed, this thing dialed way up in the horsepower, and then being the only rear steer buggy out here at UTV.
Man, just clawing his way up the hill right now.
Yeah, that thing just screams.
We'll see Dustin racing later in the bouncer class as well in Gold Rush.
They had the entire axle torn apart last night because they had to replace a diff in the Gold Rush reclaimed buggy.
It seems like Dustin's front left might not be pulling right now. Could be why he was having to work extra hard to get up the hill just now.
Again, we'll see some cool video of Nick Reich. Nick Reich broke some axles, and he said, I noticed because I kept wanting to twist the buggy when I would gas it real hard going up the hill. It was pulling real hard to one side, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, if you have a broken axle, it tends to do that. That's a 97.079.
Yeah, I think of Nemo trying to swim
Yes.
with one little fin, and he just kind of goes in circles.
Yes.
That's your broken axle.
Yes, that's kind of what it feels like. It's palindrome.
Braden Upchurch on the course now.
Again, Braden out there with that Rock Life Off-Road wrap. This is a new chassis for this season. He brought it out at Glen Rock Forest season opener.
Yeah, Nathaniel Bell, who's also racing with us in the bounty class, built this for him. This is all Braden's third year racing with us. Another one of our Kentucky drivers. Braden would like to give a shout out to his mom and dad, Rock Life Off-Road Super Grip Tires, L&W Fab Performance Side-by-Side Bushing, and Keaton Farms for helping support his race program. And Braden is wrapping up course 4 for us right now and the 2025 season of the UTV Cup class. With an 86.669. That was a great run from Braden.
All right, we were talking about Cooper Bentley having bubblegum and baling wire wrapping that thing together. I guess we have some pictures of his rig that's been pieced together. They said there was a Wade Goods belts holding it on. Again, trying to keep it all done. They were ratchet strapping everything together. So, again, we talked about they actually had to take it to Wade Goods' house 2 nights ago and weld everything back together, put it all together. And again, when you have a bunch of side-by-side guys working on a UTV, it does go much faster. So it's very, very cool to see. Again, it looks like they're getting the course all ready, making sure the course is clear, flags are all up. Again, we appreciate all our production staff, our cameramen and camera ladies out there doing an awesome job, course workers, and our recovery and rescue crews. They all work very hard to make this dream work behind the scenes. Sometimes tirelessly putting flags up and tearing stuff down in the dust and the sun and the rain. So, again, we appreciate them and all the things they do behind the scenes. We appreciate them. Good, you can see all the drivers packed in around that race line starting gate. Getting to watch the course and see how the buggies handle.
All right, while we wait for those photos we teased you with to load for us, we are going to go through our top 10. This is just from course 4 right now. That is Wade Good running for Ethan Hunt's spot right there. Had the fastest time with that 68, followed by Dylan Dowler with the 73. Matt Myrick in third with the 78. Braden Upchurch fourth with that 86. And fifth place was Madison King with the 87.
Martin Stewart coming in 6th. Cooper Bentley coming in 7th. David Darnell coming in 8th. Cody Kase coming in 9th. And Dustin Medley rounding out that top 10.
That was for course 4, our last course of the day and of the season for the Cup class. Here's one of those photos of Cooper Bentley that we were teasing you guys with down in the pits. You can see the ratchet strap there.
Yeah.
What else is going on in this picture? He's holding Wade Good's belt that they were using to keep it in gear.
Wow.
There's a lot going on there.
Again, we strive to be professional, but sometimes it's whatever can make it work. That's all that you're shooting for, is just to get through that course. And again, Cooper had a great run. Very great run. So,
and that was all it took to help him be able to get across the finish line.
Old chocolate milk himself.
That means we are ready to move into course 3 for our UTV Bounty class.
I think our UTV Bounty class races the exact same course as our unlimited rock bouncers. Again, so I really appreciate these guys. They have a lot of heart. They're doing the exact same course, coming out, have a straightaway, heading up that first big steep section of that Mickey Thompson Mountain, coming back down through the rest of those spider step-ups and then down the long gauntlet of runway. So a very gnarly course. This is some big hills. There's rocks bigger than UTVs they'll be going over in this class. So I'm very excited to see how our UTV is done. We have, 5, looks like, about top 5?
Yeah, we should have about 5 drivers. I'm not sure about Alston Tidwell now, though, since he did break in the Cup class just a minute ago.
Again, this is course 3, so we still have 2 courses for our UTV Bounty, our Rock Bouncers Limited and Unlimited.
And this is Brady McCree starting off course 3 for the Bounty class. Brady McCree, unfortunately, as a late entry to the class, has had to go first on all of our courses. But he's handled it just fine.
Yeah. This is so gnarly right there.
Brady started off, unfortunately, with a DNF on course 1, but then was able to pull off a second-place finish on course 2. And like Matt said, we've still got our 2 courses of racing. This is only course 3 for the Bounty class.
Coming down, getting set up again. You're coming straight down, turning, going right back up hill. Again, me and Brandon Davis were talking last night. He said that first one's kind of rough. He said that second one, though, is straight up and down. You literally just see sky for a minute, hoping that you land back
hoping
on all
you
fours.
went forward enough, not just vertical. And Brady's got it figured out.
There we go. Again, even once you get past those dirt hills, that rock section is still pretty violent and pretty steep. Me and Nick Reich were walking it on Wednesday night, and it was it's pretty steep.
Straight on to the finish line.
That's a 120.410. So 120.410.
Nice job by Brady McCree. It's always a good feeling to get somebody across the finish line for our bounty class, because sometimes that is not the case. I know course 1, when we started out on Thursday, we had 3 DNFs and only 2 finishes.
Yeah.
So.
And again, being the first guy to go, it's always kind of you're kind of like guinea pig. So once the first guy goes, everybody else goes, oh yeah, we can do that. He made it, we can do it. But if you have a DNF, first couple runs, we've had some courses where first 2, 3, 4 guys are DNF, so then it kind of creates a little doubt, starts getting in your head, playing a little psychological, caution maybe. And so when you see that first guy come out and smoke the course, you go, okay, all right, now we're settled. He knocked it out, no big deal. Again, you can see all of our drivers packing in down around that race line starting gate, watching and waiting and having full of anticipation.
Looks like they couldn't decide who wanted to go next.
As Zach said yesterday, he's back there changing a CD.
He's picking his drive-out song.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, somebody's airing up a tire right now, it sounds like.
Usually that means the tire's going to go low quickly, so they have a very...
She sprung a leak.
They have a very fast run because they have to finish before the tire goes flat. And I've seen guys literally, the small Milwaukee air compressors, they'll have it screwed to the tire, and they're carrying it next to the tires. They're driving to the starting line. They're holding it.
Looks like we got Madison King up next.
Her dad jogging in behind her. All right, clock is hot.
So Madison, we mentioned earlier, having an eventful weekend of racing. She had a rollover on course 1, did a little backflip, landed on her tires, and was able to keep going on course 2 and get a finish out of it. She also had a rollover in the Cup class. So we're going to see how she can handle course 3 now. Keep it on all 4, Madison. That just goes to show you that Madison is not afraid to send it.
Yeah. There we go. And again, there's just such a fine line with those dirt hills of being, you don't want to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow.
Whoa. She's
like
trying to give us another Amsoil action shot right now.
Getting a little squirrely there. You can see that back end starting to lift that front right tire. There we go. Getting it straightened up. Come on, get up there. Again, that you can see it kind of bellying out. The front wheels coming off the ground. That is a massive ledge there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on the screen and then turning around and looking at it in person behind me, and it looks like a completely different hill.
Yeah.
Oh, Madison.
Ooh, buddy. Madison getting a little spicy out there. Yeah, again, you can tell there's definitely a little bit of a lip there on that rock ledge.
All right, we do have a 5-minute time limit on the hill. I don't think she's getting close to it yet, but I know she's going to be wanting to make some forward progress pretty soon.
Yeah, it seemed like a minute ago when she backed up to give it gas, it seemed like it wasn't really moving. I'm not sure if there's a transmission issue or.
We're going to send recovery out to check and see if she needs some assistance. We got Matt Myrick first on the scene.
All right, we're hearing on the radio that she may have broken a belt. If that's the case, she'll have to get pulled off. Man, that stinks. Again, had a great run going. Had a rough weekend. She had a lot of rollovers, a lot of crashes. Very rough weekend, but sometimes that is the way the cookie crumbles here when you're racing.
Well, she made the highlight reel, that's for sure.
She definitely did.
I especially liked the backflip. She landed it and kept going.
Yeah.
That was classic. While we continue to get Madison, whoa, is she coming off the course? Stand by.
Oh, wow.
She's not done yet.
So maybe it just popped out of gear. Again, Dad there helping her get her figured out.
All right, at this point, the time limit is going to be coming into play for Madison. So for our time limit, since I brought it up, with that 5-minute time limit, which Madison is out of time now, but what we do is a driver has to, once you pass the 5-minute mark or whatever our time limit is for the course, they have to continue making forward progress. And if you have already crossed the time limit, but you've continued with forward progress and you cross the finish line, your run still counts. If at any point you have to back up after your time limit has been reached, then your run is over. And unfortunately, Madison did reach her time limit right now.
Yeah, which is heartbreaking. But if you know you're out of time and they're giving you the signal out of time, you know you have at least one good college try left to just send it with everything you have. So,
and there's plenty of times we've seen that happen where, you know, they do pass the time limit, but as long as they keep making that forward progress and get through the finish line without any more backing up, then it still counts. We've got Nathaniel Bell on the line now. Nathaniel second in points for the Bounty class right now. He's also coming off a win from Rush Springs Ranch a few weeks ago.
Looks like Madison's getting cleared off the course. Dad hopped on for a ride. Again, Nathan King we usually see out racing. I remember he was telling me he had something going on the same weekend that he couldn't get out of. And so hate to see him not out here. That General Lee wrap. Getting Nathaniel Bell, a previous season winner. And you GT Bounty class.
Nathaniel had a second place finish on course 1 and a first place finish on course 2. So pretty good weekend so far for him.
There we go. I say Nathaniel, another guy that gets out and does a lot of pre-rain, come down and he'll kind of test a little bit and roll up into stuff, some of the hills, and see how it feels, try different speeds, see what's going on.
Nice. See how Nathaniel handles this section. Like a champ.
All right, ripping it to the finish line.
Nice.
See what that time's going to be.
83.688 for Nathaniel Bell. That is our current fastest time here on course 3. Brady McCree, our only other driver through the finish line so far with that 120. It looks like they got Alston Tidwell squared away. Weren't sure if they were going to be able to pull that off after the Cup class.
Yeah, with this many guys in the pits, I'm sure he could be like, hey, somebody help me. 6 guys run over and grab it.
Send out the SOS.
Yeah, and there's
the
enough
bat
guys,
signal.
Enough guys in the pits, I think they could fix about anything right now.
Alston is third in points in the bounty class. I know he's glad to be able to be back here for course 3, not have to take a DNF.
There we go. Get a nice, smooth transition there. Again, definitely has that lip dialed in.
Alston's been racing with us in the NRRA since 2022. He says what got him involved was watching Bobby Tanner and Dale Larson in the Bouncers and Wild Wyatt Wilson in the UTVs. If you guys are newer to the sport and aren't familiar with those names, well, you just head on over to YouTube. You put Bobby Tanner, you put Dale Larson, Wyatt Wilson in there. Sit back and enjoy what you see.
Yeah, Bobby Tanner was a guy that just, I think he liked putting on a show more than he liked winning. I think he would much rather,
He was here for a good show, that's for sure. And he became legendary in rock bouncing because of it. And he got Alston Tidwell involved in racing because of it, apparently. So there it is. Alston, glad to see him through that finish line.
That's a 126.303 for Alston Tidwell.
And that is Alston's first finish for the bounty class.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a rough weekend for some of the guys out here.
Okay, we've got Casey Howell on the line. Casey is our points leader right now in bounty class. He is also going to wrap up course 3 for us right now. Got a lot of people clustered around the vehicle right now.
Yeah.
That's usually not a great sign when you're at the starting line. Unless they're all just there to give him a fist bump and a send-off, but I don't think that's the case right now.
No, I hear Justin Hobach said they're working on it. All right. It sounds like they're going to try to do a couple quick repairs to get him going 100%, and that way we can wrap up our UTV Bounty class. But while we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with his run right after these messages.
There's only one tire brand that can call itself legendary. Rebirthed from the depths of Baja and representing decades of racing heritage, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. This dominating tire is purpose-built for thrill seekers everywhere. The new Baja Legend MTZ. It's time to get what you really want in a tire. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound for enhanced wet performance. Powerply 3-ply construction for sidewall protection and responsive handling. Improved 4-pitch side biters for bold looks and off-road grip. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. Gear up and roll with the American mud terrain legend, the Baja Legend MTZ.
These UTV guys have been pushing the limits for years, and we are keeping up with them, providing them the strongest axle on the planet. Our UTV line uses all 300M components, high-temp synthetic moly grease, to handle the abuse of these short courses or long desert races, whatever these guys are doing. They've been pushing the limits, and we've been keeping up. So the years of development for the Pro Series line with our 300M, we have learned so much. We've taken that technology and we've taken the things out of it that make it, absolutely the strongest, and made it the strongest in class for trail use. And we've come out with a Trail Series axle. And that axle is going to be 4340 chromoly steel, all U.S. made, and it is going to be the best in class for your trail. So you don't necessarily have to get the Pro Series. If you're not out here racing, if you don't have 300 horsepower hill killing with these guys, you can get a Trail Series RCV axle and go out and cruise with your buddies with peace of mind that you're not going to break. So for everything UTV, visit us at rcvperformance.com. And for Trail Series, find us at trailseriesaxle.com.
All right, we are back, and it looks like Casey Howell is ready for his run. This is our final go on Course 3 here for UTV Bounty. Our fastest time currently is Nathaniel Bell with an 83.
Come on, get up there. Again, that first big ledge these UTV Bounty guys got to go up is just so gnarly.
If you're just tuning in with us, this is our last driver for Course 3 of UTV Bounty here at Wildcat. This is our final day of racing for the 2025 season. We have already wrapped up our UTV team class and our UTV Cup class. After this, we'll be going on to Course 3 for the Bouncers. All right, let's check Casey's time. 110.352 for Casey Howell. That does complete course 3 for the Bounty class. Let's take a look at how our top 5 ended up for this course. Nathaniel Bell had the fastest time with that 83, now followed by Casey Howell with the 110, Brady McCree with the 120, Alston Tidwell 126, and then we had Madison King, unfortunately, with that DNF. But, man, she gave it a heck of a go on the hill, that's for sure. All right, guys, before we get into the bouncers, we're going to take a real short break, and then we'll be back and send Brandon Davis off the line.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
Welcome back, everybody, to our last day of racing here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in Kentucky for the National Rock Racing Association season finals. This weekend is presented by Yukon Gear and Axle, so a big shout out and thank you to them and all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do here with the NRRA. We are ready for course 3 of the Mickey Thompson Bouncer Cup. But before we get into the racing action, we do want to take a look at our point standings and where things are coming into today's racing. We've had a busy couple days of racing so far, completed our first 2 courses for the bouncers, and right now, these are how the points stand coming into today's course 3. Nick Reich in the lead with 524 points, followed by Wade Good with 519, Cooper Bentley in third with 482, Daniel Heckley in fourth with 448, and Clint Garrison rounding out top 5 with 416.
Got Tim Bacon sitting in second, Ethan Jones sitting in seventh, Brandon Davis sitting in eighth, Connor Flynn sitting in ninth, and Ethan Hunt has a stunt driver for him, which is Clay Kaysen. He had a couple stunt drivers filling in different spots this weekend, so. All right, last night, because of such violent racing we've had so far on that course 2 we ran yesterday, we had a lot of action going on in the pits last night. So I got to go hang out, bring some tools over, and Nick Reich had broken axle shaft. So unfortunately, we had to do a lot of swapping around. We brought in 2 different vehicles. We had Johnny Gibbs and Blake Hardy's vehicle. We had to take an outer shaft for one vehicle, inner shaft for another vehicle, piece them together. About that time, we have that project going on. Jay Stewart said, I broke a dry shaft, started loading it up. Cody Kase came over and said, "No, you're not." Unloaded, literally unstrapped the vehicle, backed it in the pit. We took his drive shaft off. Nick Reich had a spare drive shaft. They took it. They actually went to Casey's houses, welded it together, brought it back, got it going. So we had several buggies under the same tube, got all of them going. We had a handful of parts. People were coming over and buying tools. It was so neat to see everybody out there, again, borrowing tools, borrowing parts.
Everybody was pitching in, coming together
to
try and get these guys back running, and we are excited to be seeing them back in action today. Brandon Davis is going to be kicking things off for us for Course 3. He is ready to rock and roll. Let's send him.
All right, Brandon Davis in his brand new UFO car.
Brandon had a 4th place finish on Course 2 yesterday. Like Matt said, this is a new buggy for Brandon. We're used to seeing him racing Menace. That's what he's been in for several seasons now. But this is his 3rd race with the UFO buggy. He's getting more and more comfortable, especially if that 4th place finish from yesterday's Course 2 is definitely a testament to that.
Yeah,
I know he's maybe hoping for a little more horsepower in the future at some point. But otherwise, he says he's been pretty happy with the buggy so far.
I guess Tim Cameron was watching the live feed yesterday and called Cheryl and told Brandon exactly how to navigate that 2nd course. And obviously it paid off because he came right up, took his time, come up, and mashed the gas once he got that front axle up, launched up, and had an awesome time on Course 2. So definitely paid off well. So and it's great to see Timmy out there. I know Timmy's got a little spy vehicle he's working on. He'll be back next season with us. Again, it looks like he's hung up here just a little bit. Again, he's running an LS crate motor in this. Not quite the horsepower that Menace was. But again, Menace still independent front suspension. This is an independent front suspension. Very similar vehicles as far as handling capabilities. Just a little bit more... a little more going on because it is the Ultra 4 car. Unfortunately, not quite the power, but I have a feeling...
With about half the power of what he was used to in Menace.
I think we're going to see some upgrades later this season. So, got up there past that ledge, got unstuck, and is coming down now. Again, Brandon said that second lip right here he's about to hit, you literally just kind of sky out. He said, I think I'm going to hang a little farther to the right there. You can kind of hugging that corner a little bit more. Being the straight axle rear independent front suspension, it handles a lot more like a UTV, he said, than necessarily a rock bouncer would do.
There it is, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. All right. That's a 178.995 for Brandon Davis. Again, Kenneth Cozine yesterday broke a whole bunch of stuff in his front end. Luckily, we were able to get him going yesterday. He needed some fine thread bolts for a knuckle. Again, Scott from Sunfire was actually here helping get some stuff done. Again, this is a new chassis for Kenneth, and he was super excited to see this puppy going. Again, Kenneth is used to race Bad Donkey, that red and black chassis. So
yeah, we saw him racing that for like 5 years.
Yeah, no strange to the rock bounce community. Just picked up a new chassis. Super excited about. Definitely been getting more comfortable as the season goes on and getting the buggy dialed in. Had a little bit of the new buggy blues.
This is his, fourth race?
Yeah.
In this buggy now? Something like that? Came in about partway through the season with it.
There he goes, just letting that thing eat and powering up the hill.
Well, he calls it double down. He's doubling
down
on Course 3 right now.
Again, you can see some of that dust kicking up for him. Coming down using that rear steer. Oh, man. Again, there is such a fine line there of, being able to make it, but yet at the same time not shoot out the top too much. There we go. Nice, smooth transition. Kenneth doing a great job. Was also running our starting gate yesterday for Justin when he had to hop in and run the backer.
Yeah, Kenneth is always quick to pitch in and help with recovery, or like you said, the starting gate around here. A lot of our drivers are, so we definitely appreciate that. Let's see what kind of time he got. .015 for Kenneth Cozine. All right, we've got Chris Grigg on the line. Chris was not able to make it for course 1, and then he unfortunately had a DNF yesterday on course 2 on the Yukon Dewitt Hill. He was working hard to get here, working to get the buggy ready, had trouble with his truck on the way here, trying to get to the race, and finally made it for course 2. So, man, I hope we get to see him cross the finish line right now for course 3. He does have a damaged shock from yesterday's run, so I don't know if that's going to affect him today for course 3. We're just glad to see Chris back out here in action with us. He had some health issues mid-season and had to take off quite a bit of this year, so glad to see him doing well and back out here with us. Yeah,
he had some health issues. He said he changed his eating habits and he quit smoking, so that's obviously much better for him. So I was encouraged that. He said he's been eating a lot better. He said, I eat fast food 7 days a week. He said, so I've cut that way back, and said I've lost 35 pounds, so I'm feeling a lot better. So that's good for him.
Hey, you got to stay healthy if you want to go racing.
Yes. Has a new chassis. Again, this is about a year old, wide open design chassis. They definitely feeling good with it. Getting dialed in ever since he picked it up. Doing little upgrades here and there, tweaking it. I'm sure it feels good to just get back in there and get some seat time.
Yeah, especially after that bit of a hiatus that he had. Chris comes out of Kernersville, North Carolina to race with us, so he does a bit of traveling to get to the races.
There we go.
Oh.
Again, right here, these first two dirt hills, there's a very fine line between, sending it way far out the top and being able to just perfectly land it.
If you guys want to follow along with Chris's race program, you can check him out on Facebook, On the Top Racing, and Instagram and TikTok. It's all On the Top Racing. Y'all go check out what he's going on with his race program. Maybe some new coming up for the 2026 season. I don't know. We'll find out.
There we go.
Nice. Man, we like to see him getting across the finish line.
Yeah, so getting a finish out of it definitely makes you feel good. That's a 149.650 for Chris Grigg.
Right now, our three drivers, our times are 1:16 from Kenneth Cozine, 1:49 now from Chris Grigg, and a 1:78 from Brandon Davis. And we've got Ethan Jones on the line.
All right, Ethan Jones, clock is hot.
Matt, I think we're going to see a lot of drivers looking for some redemption today on course 3 after all the DNFs we had yesterday.
Yeah.
On the Yukon do it or the you couldn't do it hill.
Yeah, depending on how you made it look, right? I think you're 100% correct there, Bree. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers coming back on, especially course 3, course 4, really trying to lay some good times down and kind of conquer it. We had a lot of carnage yesterday on that. You can do it hill?
You can maybe do it hill?
Yeah.
Yes, we had 11 DNFs.
Wow.
Yesterday. Unfortunately, Ethan was one of those on course 2. But looking like things are going much better for him right now on course 3. Nicely done. With a 95.521. That is our current fastest time now on course 3.
Again, that was a wicked fast time.
And I hope he enjoys that for now because I see Wade Good on the line.
Yeah. This is another guy. He had to go get a unit bearing last night because he said, my brakes weren't working real great. And I said, well, brakes on these hills are something you kind of need. So, again, Wade's going to get out there and hammer down on it. Yeah, Chris Grigg was the one who actually gave it to him.
Wade Good, second in points behind Nick Reich right now.
Literally just coming into these corners on two wheels.
After not the run he was looking for on course 2 yesterday, he struggled a bit on the Yukon Do It Hill. Was able to finish, but it was I'm sure it was a lot slower than what he wanted. I know he's going to be going full tilt today.
Yeah.
Full tilt than we're even used to seeing from him.
Yes. We are way past the moderate send, as Bree would say.
It is the full send moment.
Yes. This is the last day. This is for all the Mohicans. Man, he is moving. Again, this last downhill section, I'm sure he's going to try to smoke to end up with the best time.
It's been noted, especially on this the courses we have at Wildcat this weekend, that the downhill is where you're going to pick up the time, and I think we just saw Wade do that for sure.
That's a 75.872 for Wade Goad, and that is your new leader. The question is right now, is that 75 going to hold? I mean, that was a blistering time. I mean, literally just thrashing downhill. Looks like you got Ben Driscoll sitting in that race line starting gate. Again, been ripping out of that race line starting gate. Again, Ben Driscoll's getting super comfortable in this buggy this season. Had a wild ride at Pretty Place, picked up a Skinny Pedal trophy. Coming down, oh wow, hit one of those huge ruts we've been talking about this weekend. Using his rear steer to get whipped around. There we go. Ooh. Oh, man.
Aww.
Right at the top of that ledge, got hung up just a little bit. Again, you can see him kind of getting high center right there, just a tad. Rolling back down to the flat so they can get a little bit of momentum. There you go. I was curious if anybody wants to do that. Kind of work over to that. You could put one tire in the dirt, that right side.
Oh, getting wild at the top of the hill.
Get her done. Again, keeping that right side, hugging that dirt, kind of gives you nice traction all the way up. So
I'm having a little deja vu to
yeah.
coming down the hill at Pretty Place when he got that Skinny Pedal award. He is getting after it.
That first buck had me a little worried there.
Hey, he knows it's all or nothing right now. 123.414 for Ben Driscoll. Next up, we've got Dustin Medley on the line. But before we send Dustin, we do want to take a look at our current top 5 on course 3. Right now, it's Wade Good in the lead with that 75.8. Followed by Ethan Jones with a 95, Kenneth Cozine with a 116, Ben Driscoll with a 123, and Chris Grigg with a 149. We are almost halfway through course 3 right now for the Bouncer Cup.
Again, you can see all the drivers there kind of huddled around the tree by that Raceline starting gate. Just off to the left of your screen, they're all kind of packed in, waiting, watching, anticipating to see what time, what the change is. And I tell people, I do commentary, I'm a sportscaster, I'm a racer, but at heart, I'm just a snot-nosed goober fan like everybody else. You know, I said I love watching the cars, the big loud motors, the engines, the dirt flying. It's just so much fun. And again, so some of the guys are doing it because of that. They're also looking at what lines guys are taking. Again, Ben Driscoll, we saw him hug that far right side where the trees are. Had a much smoother transition there versus going to the middle or the left where he was kind of getting hung up on and belling out. We saw Madison King, unfortunately, get hung up there a little bit. So I think we might see some guys try to hang that far right side again, other than carrying just a ton of momentum out of there. But again, we'll see how that plays out later today. Again, this is course 3 of 4 this weekend. So we have one more going on later this afternoon. So we have one more chance for these guys to get redemption after this run. See if they can lock in their points for the weekend and the season.
Here we go with Dustin Medley.
Dustin running that Gold Rush really clean buggy. Again, they took the entire rear axle, tore the entire rear axle apart of this buggy last night, put a new third member in it, put it all back together just so they can come out racing today. And again, you can see the dirt and dust just ejecting from those back tires. So
the dedication and the commitment for this sport was evident all over the campground last night, with everybody just pitching into work, working on their own stuff, working on everybody else's stuff, taking parts off of one, putting it on another. Going a far left route to come around that top loop.
There we go. Letting that big block sing. .259 for Dustin Medley. That is a second place time right now on course 3. Wade Good with that 75 is going to be hard to catch, but I see Cooper Bentley on the line. Cooper third in points right now. Cooper so far has had 2 second-place finishes from yesterday's racing. Man, just clawing his way up that hill.
Oh, no! Front driver's side is not pulling. I couldn't see.
Dang it.
Couldn't see if it was both fronts or not.
Literally like 40 feet from the top of the hill. Again, he can possibly roll back and get enough traction. I don't know if he knows he's broke. Yeah, I said it looks like the front right is pulling, but the front left looks like it's left the chat.
Come on, Cooper, you got this.
Come on, come on. There we go. Awesome. Now, again, here's the question. Does he have a spare axle shaft to go out there, swap back in, and get back for course 4? Because he will definitely need that for course 4.
If not, we're going to be seeing him running this hill in 3-wheel drive. You know that. Cooper's no quitter. Especially when he's third in points.
That's a 130.913 from Mr. Chocolate Milk himself, Cooper Bentley. Again, obviously, it's super awesome to get a finish on course 3, especially with a broken axle. So he's feeling pretty pumped right now. And again, those points will definitely come in handy for the weekend and for the season. Looks like getting all the drivers lined up, keeping them ready. They are antsy with anticipation to get this course 3 underway. We got Cody Kase pulling into that race line starting gate. All right, clock is hot.
Y'all stand back. Clay jumping into the bouncer class about halfway through the season. We're used to seeing him dominating in the UTV class. But he has become a force to be reckoned with in the bouncer class as well.
There we go. Can Clay kind of crab walking a little bit there to get down that hill.
Up in the same spot that Cooper had trouble.
Yeah, again, you can see a handful of our UTV drivers as well as our rock bouncers getting hung up right there.
There it is.
Okay, that motor does not sound real happy right now.
Nicely done.
There we go.
With a 96.072.
Getting Jay Storage here in that Fortitude buggy. Pulling up in that race line starting gate. Jay is the one we had to rebuild a drive shaft for. Nick Reich had a spare. It was a little too long, so they ended up taking it, brought a grinder over, put a cutting wheel on there, actually cut the drive shaft. They knocked the end off, took it over to Casey Howe's house, actually welded the drive shaft back together, had to shorten it like 3.5 inches, brought it back, slapped it in, and Jay literally was like loaded up. He was strapped in like, well, I get home, my weekend's over. They're like, hey, we got spare parts, we'll make it work. Jay was like, awesome. He told Nick, he's like, just order one and send me the bill, no big deal. So very cool. He's like, I'd have been to work tomorrow. It's all good. So glad to see him out here. This is a new chassis for him. He's super excited with it. And again, getting a lot of seat time in. He built a pretty gnarly course at his house and has been dialing it in.
Looks like we've got about 5 drivers left for course 3. Then we'll be going to our limited bouncer class.
Hearing that big Godzilla 7.3 that's supercharged, roaring out the starting gate. Ooh!
Whoa, Jay.
Getting a little squirrely there. Kind of sidestepped that rock, and I think he felt the buggy kind of tilted that left side. He thought, we're going to go and hop out here.
I think he just had to bail out
and
get recentered here.
Yeah. I think that was probably a wise choice. Man, hear that motor eat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hung up on a tree.
Not Jay. Not a tree.
Yeah, him and Daniel both. They do lots of tree work, and they seem to find trees during their runs. On the job training.
They just can't help it.
Yeah. There we go.
Does he have the fortitude to handle these rock ledges in one shot?
There we go.
Oh, making
There
it
we
look
go.
easy. There you go, Jay.
All right.
Nice run.
That's a 138.554 for Mr. Jay Storts.
All right, guys, at this point, our top three on the course is Wade Good with that 75, followed by Dustin Medley with the 91, and then Ethan Jones with a 95. And we've got Clint Garrison on the line. Clint coming in 5th in points to the weekend. He had a 3rd place finish on course 2 yesterday. It's pretty impressive considering all the DNFs that we had.
Yeah. Again, coming to that first big ledge there, kind of picking your line is really smart, taking your time. Then kind of just letting the buggy roll down the rest of the hill. Setting up for those next 2 big dirt ledges.
Oh, Clint shooting for the left side, but getting hung up again.
Kind of wheel stood it there.
Nice.
There we go.
A little bit of a bonus bounce there. We don't call it rock bouncing for nothing, huh, Matt?
For real. And there's been a lot of that this weekend, especially going uphill and downhill through that section. Nice.
100.823 for Clint Garrison.
Nice smooth run there. Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, I think that's about a 5th place time right now on course 3. Looks like DC Thompson was able to get back for course 3. I believe DC is running for Clayton Smith.
All right, looks like clock is hot.
Oh.
I said the way it shut off, it almost acts like it hit his fuel pump or something. I know Timmy did that one time. He was racing and actually bumped his on-off switch, the master kill.
Oh. But that switch got moved the next day.
He went and made a big protector for it, literally like the next day. I think it was Saturday he was racing. Sunday he posted the cover on the new switch. I say DC got hung up just a little bit, but he's outside the big part of the climb there. And he is definitely getting rowdy with it right there. There you go. Come on.
So DC it was supposed to turn, but yeah. he's going for his own bonus line right now.
Yeah, you have the option of turning there, and that's where the course shows. Now, you can go all the way out to the access road and come back if you want. It's a much longer path, but that's an option. Unfortunately, it looked like the last time, it looked like his front end wasn't pulling. I think he shut it off just to let the dust clear.
So what he needs to do is just back up and turn right. That's where the course map leads. Oh,
there
he's got it figured out. There we go, DC.
Either a course worker or a rescue personnel on the hill helped him get it there. And I'm sure he's thinking, that's way easier.
Why didn't I do this to begin with? Bless his heart. This is not the first time DC's had a little trouble on the course. He's made the joke himself that he needs like 3 bands of caution tape lining out the whole course for him, so there's no way he can miss it. We all know DC marches to the rhythm of his own beat out here with the occasional freestyle thrown in. And this is also not the first time we've seen this from DC this weekend.
Yeah.
We got the entertainment factor of watching him push his 4-seat Can-Am down both of these ledges on Thursday after getting turtled.
Yeah.
He's going to make sure that didn't happen again. Good job, DC.
Not once, but twice. He did it on both ledges. So
definitely, that was like our halftime show.
It was.
On Thursday.
It was.
He is committed to this course 3 right now, though, and I think he's finally got it figured out. There it is. Through the finish line. with a smoking fast time of 3:12.856 for TC Thompson. Speaking of a smoking fast time, though, Daniel Heckley is on the line. He is looking to be moving out of that fourth place spot in points right now and get into the top three.
All right, clock is hot.
Daniel, unfortunately, was one of our DNFs yesterday on course 2 for the Yukon Do It Hill. He was working on a drive shaft, a broken drive shaft last night. I think he said that was the first drive shaft he's broken in 4 years of racing.
Wow.
Hellbent.
I'm sure. And again, I think it was probably the ledge that actually caught it. I don't think he necessarily
He actually did the Yukon Do It Hill, but then you're right.
Yeah.
It was over here on the Spider send-offs.
Yeah, I think it was more of he must have hit it on something than just twisted it.
Looks like the dust is going to follow him around the course.
Again, just letting that motor sing. Yeah, I don't think he really tore the dry shaft up just from general use. I think he actually hit it on a rock, and that's must have broke it.
Yeah, he was saying how tough of a landing coming up the Spider send-offs are if you slap down.
Oh yeah.
Getting right into the drive shaft. But he is through the finish line now. Let's check that time.
That's a 1:23.003.
All right, guys, we've got 2 drivers left for course 3. And then we'll move on to our limited bouncer class. Dan Bowman is on the line.
Dan coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio, brought a whole bunch of family and friends with us this weekend. Said they've had an awesome time. TC-built chassis kind of resembles almost more of an Ultra 4 car. And Dan said he loves it just because it's so durable.
That is definitely a good quality for a rock bouncer to have.
Yeah. Durability is something you definitely need. Especially this weekend, the way these guys have been hammering down on stuff.
Well, Dan's just making this course look pretty easy right now. Nice run.
Nice, smooth run.
Nine 0.605. Slow, smooth, smooth is fast. That's the second place time right now on course 3 for Dan Bowman. Pushed Dustin Medley down to third currently with that 91.
All right, as Nick's pulling in that race line starting gate, we had a chance to catch up with him and get a little insight into what he's thinking as he's pulling into that starting gate.
Mostly, I'm going over the course in my head. I'm remembering all my turns, where the course goes, all the spots to hit my rear steer. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is I'm trying to keep control and dial back how hard I drive so I don't overdrive and crash. It's really easy for me to get carried. It's very easy for me to overdrive or drive way too fast and just give up my run or ruin my run. So I'm constantly trying to, tell myself when I'm coming into this corner how far I want to be skidding, and if I'm skidding too far, I know I'm carrying too much speed, and I gotta chill a little bit. So just running through those over and over. Course, rear steer turns, and then how hard I need to turn my dial up or down. I want to turn it down. So.
All right, we are back again with your season points leader right now, sitting in that race line, starting gate, Nick Reich. He has a lot of emotions going on around, I'm sure. Again, this is course number 3. He does have one more course. We were talking a little bit last night. He is 13 points ahead of Wade Good. And Wade had a blistering time on course 3. He needs to finish in the top 3 on course 3 and 4 to lock in that championship. Can he do it?
The time to beat right now is a 75.8 from Wade Good. Nick has been sitting back here, down here in the pits. In anticipation, and he is ready to unleash on this course, clearly.
There we go. Again, he came in a little hot and steamy there, had a bobble, but we'll see how it's going to go. I know he's going to try to be very quick downhill. We've seen Wade pick up so much time there.
It's not easy to have to sit and wait and be the last one to go on the course either, especially when you're the one defending that top spot in points.
There he goes. All right.
I think Nick's probably battling a little of that adrenaline.
Oh, I'm sure.
Getting into race mode and wanting to just pedal to the metal.
Again, he had a nice, smooth uphill section there. Kind of hung that far right side. I'm sure he watched a few of those guys get caught up. So there we go.
It's not the smoothest run that we've ever seen from Nick, but it's still fast.
See what that time's going to be.
Let's check and see how fast. 81.012 for Nick Reich. That is a second place time on course 3 right now. That does wrap up course 3, so let's go ahead and take a look at our top 10 before we move on to our limited bouncer class.
All right, we're going to check out this top 10 here real quick while we get the limited class set up. Wade Good sitting in that first place run. Again, this is for course 3. Nick Wright coming in right behind him in second place. Dan Bowman in third. Dustin Medley in fourth. And Ethan Jones rounding out your top 5.
Then we had Cody Kase in that 6th place spot. Clint Garrison in 7th. Kenneth Cozine 8th. Daniel Heckley 9th. And Ben Driscoll rounding out top 10 for course 3.
Got to talk to Travis Skelton, who's sitting in our race line starting to get a little bit this morning. He said, hey, I didn't have that chassis built first for me. He said, this is an old Jimmy Smith chassis. I said, really? I know he had talked about going from a side-by-side to a bouncer. I assumed he had his chassis built, but he said, no, I picked up an old Jimmy Smith chassis. Again, this is one of our few rear-mount engines racing this weekend. I know Brandon Davis is like a mid-mount. Bullzilla is a mid-mount engine, so...
I've got to give props to our limited class for yesterday on course 2. We had 11 DNFs in the unlimited bouncer class, and then we had 3 out of 4 finish in our limited class.
That's impressive.
They did an awesome job. And we are going to see more of them from course 3 on the other side of this break. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
These UTV guys have been pushing the limits for years, and we are keeping up with them, providing them the strongest axle on the planet. Our UTV line uses all 300M components, high-temp synthetic moly grease, to handle the abuse of these short courses or long desert races, whatever these guys are doing. They've been pushing the limits, and we've been keeping up. So the years of development for the Pro Series line with our 300M, we have learned so much. We've taken that technology and we've taken the things out of it that make it, absolutely the strongest and made it the strongest in class for trail use. And we've come out with a Trail Series axle. And that axle is going to be 4340 chromoly steel, all U.S. made, and it is going to be the best in class for your trail. So you don't necessarily have to get the Pro Series. If you're not out here racing, if you don't have 300 horsepower hill killing with these guys, you can get a Trail Series RCV axle and go out and cruise with your buddies with peace of mind that you're not going to break. So for everything UTV, visit us at rcvperformance.com. And for Trail Series, find us at trailseriesaxle.com.
All right, we are back here getting ready to kick off our limited class for Course 3 of the last day of the National Rock Racing Association. We're going to get all our limited class drivers, but it looks like we have 4 of those, I think. Back into, looks like we have 4, I think, are all still going. We had some repairs being done as well as those guys. We had some violent, rough runs yesterday, so I think everybody got everything going again. So we'll see how many of those come again. This is our last day of racing, a chance to get points on the board for the National Rock Racing Association. Looks like Travis Skelton is sitting down there in our race line starting gate, getting some pointers from Jay Stortz over there, giving him a quick pep talk, I'm sure. Again, our driver's all giving us a thumbs up, saying he's ready to go. Getting a course clear, making sure everybody's ready to go here. All right, clock is hot. Here we go. Again, Travis Skelton started out racing UTVs with us quite a while ago. He's kind of an OG UTV racer. Was probably the fastest downhill racer I've ever saw. Now picked up a Jimmy Smith chassis. See what he's going to do here. Get a little bit different layout. Again, that rear mount engine may help him. Again, gets that front end a little bit lighter. Some of these uphill sections, you want that front end kind of help drop you down. I noticed on the dirt ledges yesterday, he had a little more hang time. There we go. There we go. Heck yeah.
And one thing to note for our limited class, for course 3 right now and that top ledge, they did have the option to do the ledge or not, and it's a bonus 13 points.
Oh,
if
13
they do the ledge.
points. Heck yeah. Again, Travis was one of the guys saying, hey, let's do that. Let's do that bigger ledge. There we go. As Bree would say, it is all downhill from here.
That's right. We can put that on a T-shirt or something.
That's a 122.915 for Travis Skelton.
Travis had a first-place finish and a second-place finish so far, so.
Heck yeah. He's doing very well
good
this weekend.
So far.
Brought that buggy out and knocked the dust off.
We've got Colton Land. We're on the line now. This weekend is Colton's first time racing with us.
Apparently they pulled the motor out and changed the bell housing this last night.
Everybody was busy last night.
I was like, oh, really? And they go, oh, yeah. He had a pretty violent rollover over on our Yukon Do It to You. So he went and pulled the motor out, changed the bell housing. No big deal.
Well, I heard that they were already ready to pack up and leave. But some folks in the pits were like, no, we can help you. We got this.
Yeah, we can fix it.
They fixed it, and he's back for round 3.
Made quick work of that uphill section.
And with 2 DNFs so far, we would love to see Colton get across the finish line right now on course 3.
But here we go. Backing up, get a little momentum there. Get it launching out the top. There we go. Again, doing an awesome job there. Almost making that uphill look easy. Again, this weekend, we're utilizing all of this Mickey Thompson Mountain. You see guys going uphill and downhill. You see all the flags up there. Trying to make sure you figure going down the right section.
Nice. .407. And we love to see Colton Land. We're getting through the finish line. We've got Eric Beck on the course now. Eric was not able to join us for course 1 and 2. We'll see what he can do here on course 3, though.
I saw him pulling in this morning. Sharp-looking bouncer. Good-looking wrap on the side.
So remember, for our limited class, what makes it the limited class is that our the buggies have to have no rear steer. So you got to remember that as they're doing the same course as our unlimited class, but none of them have rear steer. And then they have to have 2 of the 3 following. They've got to have an OEM engine block, no power adders, and a single shock per corner. They've got to have 2 of those 3. So those are the specifications that make this the limited class. And I think it is pretty impressive to watch these guys run on the same course as our unlimited bouncer class and doing so well with it.
And again, he pulled up to that big wall, uphill section, and just kind of gassed it, romped right up, made it look easy. Did an awesome, awesome job there. I say, has a nice, smooth run going here. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Dang it. Oh, man.
We do hate to see that for Eric, but he had a great run going up until then. Handled the first part of the hill nicely.
Did an awesome job. Climbed that first section with no problem. Of course, workers will get over there and get him flipped back over. Keith, our recovery expert.
Yes, as always, a huge thank you and shout out to our safety and recovery crew and volunteers. We've got the thumbs up there for Eric. We appreciate them for helping us keep everybody safe and keeping things moving smoothly out here. We would not be able to put on a race like this without them, so thank you guys. Let's check out our AMSOIL action shot. Just got a little sideways there and went over. The good news is I doubt that broke anything for him, so hopefully we'll see him lining up again for course 4.
All right, guys, why we get him flipped back over, we have some awesome stuff from Power Sports World they want to show you, so we're going to take away from our action, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brian with Fisher's Off-Road, and today I'm answering some questions for some guys about the rear diff lock, or in other words, turf mode. Some guys like to call it turf mode, because when you lock in the rear, you are definitely going to tear up some turf. So let me show you real quick how this works. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with the rear end unlocked, and we're going to do a little circle here, and we're going to show you what it does. Now you can see as we're doing the circle here, it's not doing any damage to the gravel. Now what we'll do is once we get around here, we're going to actually stop and we're going to lock in the rear diff, and then we're going to try it again. Now you can see it's really starting to kind of dig up, and that's just the rear end locked in. Now what we'll do is we'll actually go in 4-wheel drive, and we are all 4 locked in. So as we're doing a circle here, the circle gets a little bit bigger because your turning radius isn't quite as good with 4-wheel drive and rear end locked in, and you can see it's still digging in. All right guys, so the moral of the story is if you are anywhere that you don't want to dig up your grass or your turf, maybe you're doing construction somewhere or working on a golf course or even your own lawn, you don't want to tear it up, keep that rear end unlocked. And then when you get on the trails, you feel like you need a little bit more traction, go ahead and lock that rear end in. And then if you need even more traction, go ahead and throw it in 4-wheel drive, and man, you'd be amazed where these things can go. We'll see y'all. Take care. Have a good one.
There is this extraordinarily unpredictable beauty to backcountry riding. And I think that's what I love so much about BDR, is that they give you a ticket to experience that. In our own personal lives, I think that we're able to exact a certain degree of control over the outcome of our own destinies. But backcountry riding involves venturing into the unknown, and you have to relinquish this idea that you're in control of the natural world around you. Riding a BDR comes with perspective-altering experiences of extreme beauty and challenges along the way. For sunshine or for rain, riding one will likely be an experience that you will never forget. This year I rode the Idaho BDR, and during my time on that route, the weather seemed to be a humbling adversary. With lightning and rain in the south and smoke and fire in the north, it was a tough route to navigate. But behind each challenge was a life lesson and an accomplishment that I can carry with me for the rest of my life. After spending 14 days exploring the backcountry and living off of MREs and fighting off mosquitoes, I've since come home to my normal life. And I miss the unpredictable nature of my day-to-day experiences. I miss the wanderlust freedom that I got from being out there. And I'm already in the process of planning my next route. There's a whole world that begins where the pavement ends, and BDR has given us the maps to go and see it.
There's only one tire brand that can call itself legendary. Rebirthed from the depths of Baja and representing decades of racing heritage, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. This dominating tire is purpose-built for thrill seekers everywhere. The new Baja Legend MTZ. It's time to get what you really want in a tire. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound for enhanced wet performance. PowerPly 3-ply construction for sidewall protection and responsive handling. Improved 4-pitch side biters for bold looks and off-road grip. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. Gear up and roll with the American mud terrain legend, the Baja Legend MTZ.
Guys, we are back. Again, it looks like we have a course clear or close to it. And you can see Keith, our recovery expert up there doing work. He takes good care of us. We had his rig welding with it last night over at Nick's camp, getting everything done. I know some of the vehicles they took off-site to get welded. We pulled Keith over there and did some welding on-site as well.
That's Eric Beck making his way off the course. That means we've got 2 drivers left for course 3 of the limited bouncer class.
You can see him pulling back our spectator area.
We've got Justin Hobach on the line. Justin is our points leader in the limited bouncer class. He's had 2 third-place finishes so far. And all he has to do is finish the rest of the hills today. And he will be season champion. So Justin came into the weekend with a solid 50-point lead ahead of Dustin Carter in second place.
So he definitely needs to do some work here. Get at least some good passes so he can lock in that championship win. Yeah, I'll say his plan coming into this weekend was, A, keep the car together, and B, just get a good finish.
Just get across the finish line.
Yep. Just, again, a DNF could really hurt him here. So just being able to, man, look at that thing eat. Again, just being able to get a finish out of all 4 courses, get those points on the board, and lock in that championship win here. Again, we think Justin Hobach, he does a lot behind the scenes, helps out with our youth class. Does a ton for our racers behind the scenes, as well as runs our starting gate. We appreciate that and all the stuff he does. Man, you can definitely tell that thing is supercharged when he comes up to those ledges.
I'm glad we've seen Showstopper 2.0 yes. back in action, built by Jason Spiegel originally. I don't know how many years ago it was now, but it's been a little while. You can definitely tell that it's kind of got that more classic, traditional rock bouncer style from a little bit back in the day. But obviously this thing can do some serious work. Justin has been able to handle every obstacle with it so far this weekend, including the Yukon Do-It Hill yesterday. Justin has even had a couple of stunt drivers filling in for him at different points over the season. We've seen Cody Kase driving this buggy for Justin's points, his position, and then Brantley Havens has also jumped in there.
Yeah.
This is Justin's first season racing in the bouncer. We've seen him racing in various UTV classes, and he is still racing in the UTV stock class this season too. And it looks like he's got that third finish under his belt now, and it's just looking ahead to course 4 and that championship trophy for Justin.
Heck yeah. That's a 174.351 from Mr. Justin Hobach.
That means Dustin Carter is on the line and going to wrap up course 3 for the limited bouncer class. Dustin had the fastest time yesterday on course 2 and a second place time on course 1. He's second in points behind Justin coming into the weekend, and with that 13-point bonus option on the top ledge. I don't know if we're going to be seeing Dustin go for that or not. I would not be surprised if he hits the top ledge and tries to gain a few more points on Justin.
Again, that small block forward, you can definitely hear it romping down out there.
Oh, he didn't go for the top ledge. He's going to go for the faster time instead. With that 50-point lead that Justin came into the weekend with, aside from a DNF, he's going to be uncatchable. So maybe Dustin decided to just go for the fast times for the weekend instead. Oh.
Man. Again, that motor is absolutely sounded amazing there. Unfortunately, he did have to back up a little bit, hit it a second chance again. We've been talking all weekend about how this is just kind of like threading a needle. You need to hit it just right, at just the right angle, not too fast, not too slow. And we've seen kind of a big mixed barrage of how they how people have hit it and landed. And we've seen some really smooth runs, too. Again, Dustin has been doing tons of work this season, this buggy. Just absolutely having some great runs. There we go. See what his time's going to be. That's a 111.676. Mr. Dustin Carter. And it looks like that is going to wrap up our limited class.
Yeah, our rundown from course 3 for these guys is Dustin Carter with a 111, followed by Travis Skelton with a 122, Colton Land with a 141, and Justin Hobach with a 174.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and get the course reset. Then we'll be kicking off with our UTV stock class. Again, we have one more course left. This will be course 4 for them. Everybody getting all those classes wrapped up. But before that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after these messages.
So we have 3 different beadlock wheels that most of our guys use. We have the teardrop, we have the twisted, and then we have the twisted black. So we have a machine version of the twisted, and then we have the black. We have these in 14 and 15 inch, all 4 lug. But we'll be coming out with, in addition to some of the tires I was talking about earlier that we're coming out with, we're going to have a new line of wheels come out. Some of those will be 5 lug to keep up with some of the new manufacturing that's happening in the UTV world. But the beadlock wheels that we're selling right now, Rock Life and those guys carry these as well. So right now we're having some specials on them. So I'd recommend if you need a set of beadlocks, you're not going to find any cheaper than those.
These UTV guys have been pushing the limits for years, and we are keeping up with them, providing them the strongest axle on the planet. Our UTV line uses all 300M components, high-temp synthetic moly grease, to handle the abuse of these short courses or long desert races, whatever these guys are doing. They've been pushing the limits, and we've been keeping up. So the years of development for the Pro Series line with our 300M, we have learned so much. We've taken that technology and we've taken the things out of it that make it, absolutely the strongest and made it the strongest in class for trail use. And we've come out with a Trail Series axle. And that axle is going to be 4340 chromoly steel, all US made, and it is going to be the best in class for your trail. So you don't necessarily have to get the Pro Series. If you're not out here racing, if you don't have 300 horsepower hill killing with these guys, you can get a Trail Series RCV axle and go out and cruise with your buddies with peace of mind that you're not going to break. So for everything UTV, visit us at rcvperformance.com. And for Trail Series, find us at trailseriesaxle.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to move into course 4 for our Super Grip UTV stock class. This is going to wrap up the season for the stock class.
Yeah, again, it's been a long season, so a lot of these classes now we're starting to wrap up. We have one course left, one chance for them to concrete, submit that points total for the season, or one chance for them to drop down. So a lot of these guys are trying to play it safe. There is some points gaps in different areas that, they want to go out and just get a finish. Other guys are trying to push up, bump up a level, and seeing how that shakes out really comes into play. Looks like Cody Kase sitting in first, Robert Trainer sitting in second, Coy Chappell in third, Brandon Davis in fourth, and Dylan Dowler rounding out the top 5.
We've got Justin Hobach in 6th, Cohen Ellison 7th, Don Curtis 8th, Daniel Heckley 9th, and Jay Stortz rounding out top 10. These are our point standings right now coming into course 4.
All right, we got Robert Trainer sitting in that race line starting gate. Again, he has been out there hammering down, making a name for himself. His son Ramsey Trainer also out there battling with us. Got a chance to hang out with him a little bit last night. He has been pushing hard all season. Him and his wife were over at the Heckley camp, goofing around last night. They were talking about some of the youth racing classes, talking about all the stuff they do to help make the cars faster. The Heckleys were swapping stories. It was a good time. Nice smooth run going here. Again, Robert is our first racer in our UTV stock class. This is course 4 of finals for the National Rock Racing Association. Getting in there and letting that thing eat. Whipping around that corner. There we go. See what this time's going to be. That's an 88.516 for Robert Trainer. Again, wrapping up the season.
And at this point in the weekend, not overall points, but just for our weekend racing, Robert is 4th coming into this course 4.
So he's definitely trying to bump up, being that top 3.
And we've got Brandon Davis on the line. And for the weekend, at this point, Brandon is sitting 5th place.
Getting Brandon out here doing double duty this weekend. Racing the Can-Am that could, and he's also out here racing this brand new UFO car. Cheryl said, we've had an awesome season, lots of stuff since they're doing some Ultra 4 racing as well. Just had an absolute blast, but she said, I'm kind of ready for a little bit of a few-month break. She said, we could use a good...
It's fun to do it all, and it's fun to have a little break and do something else for a while.
Yeah,
and then absence makes the heart grow fonder,
100%.
And then when spring comes, we're all ready to get at it again.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. By the end of the season, I'm ready for a few-month break. But then, by the end of January, the season can't start soon enough. All right, here we go. That's a fast time.
87.352 for Brandon Davis. Just a second faster than Robert Trainer.
All right, clock is hot for Tucker Sellers.
Tucker Cesler out on the course now.
He had a rough weekend. Broke a little stuff.
Yes, this was Tucker's first time coming out racing with us. Unfortunately, he's been definitely giving it a great try, but so far has 3 DNFs under his belt. We would love to see him get across that finish line right now on course 4.
Again, Tucker's 27 years old, racing a 2022 Can-Am X3 Turbo RR. He said, I want to thank my sponsors and God for helping me get this all done. Yeah, I told him last night, I said, hey, we don't have a fact sheet since you're not a seasoned driver. I said, send me some cool facts about yours or anybody you want to thank. And he said, yeah, we do some suspension work with the FCR suspension and precision dent removal. He wants to thank his wife and his 3-year-old daughter, Emery. He said he says his wife helps take care of her while I'm out racing. So, again, it's a family affair. So her being able to take care of his daughter lets him come out and do some fun racing stuff. .098 for Tucker Cesler, and finally got across that finish line. Don Curtis on the course now. Don Curtis, our inaugural season champion of the VIN class we used to run. It's always an awesome time. Don, I got to talk to him last night. They were doing a little work on theirs. They picked up not only a brand new truck for this season, but also a new enclosed trailer. So obviously West Virginia is such a long haul coming out of Kansas for them. They don't necessarily do that race, so it's a little bit of a long haul, but they do have that enclosed trailer so they can live in it and stay in it, and they spend a lot of time in it. They're pushing for another Oklahoma race. That way they can come and race closer
Well,
to
I
them.
don't blame them coming from Kansas to race
He
with
said,
us.
we have 2 great parks. Come race with us. I said, listen, we have tons of great parks in Illinois. We don't even race there at all. I said, I'm trying to get you guys to come race in Illinois or Indiana so I can have a close race,
Well, speaking of Oklahoma, y'all don't forget that we will have one more event for the year. It's not a season event, but a standalone Battle of the Bouncers, October 24th and 25th. That'll be here before we know it, and that is going to be in Jay, Oklahoma. This is Don's second year racing this 2020 Razor Pro XP. I like to call it Littlefoot. Since we called the square body Bigfoot.
That's a 102.374 for Mr. Don Curtis. And pulling up in that race line starting gate is Cody Kase. He had to change a rim or a hub or something this morning. Was out there messing around when I was getting ready.
Well, I know Cody was definitely working hard at the Reich camp last night.
Yeah.
Helping get all the bouncers tore apart, put back together.
He was there, and it's always refreshing to have, like, I'm literally grabbing a tool, and he's, I was grabbing a socket to put on the top, and he's grabbing a wrench to put in the bottom. Having someone who is very mechanically capability to help you, kind of just, compliments you in whatever you're doing. You're going to one side, he's going the other. Having that help is so awesome in there. And again, there were several guys back there that said, you guys just work like a well-oiled machine. I said, well, we're all used to working on our stuff to put it back together for the next course. So I said, a lot of us work very well together because we're so used to doing a lot of mechanical stuff. It definitely works out and makes it nice and smooth. But
well, and Cody, we got to give him, props because he is always so quick to jump in and help, whether it's in the pits or it's helping with recovery out on the course. Somehow he's always manages to be one of the first ones run into somebody when they need some recovery. So we definitely appreciate Cody and his heart for all the people involved out here and how he's so willing to step up and help. We also appreciate the really fast times that he lays down out on the course. We love watching him race, see what he can do with this full body.
Yeah, I said him and his brother have that CNC off-road. Cody and Clay Case in off-road. They do a little side-by-side work, so if you're in their area and need some side-by-side work done for them, give them a call. They can surely make your rig be fast so you can come out and do some racing with us. And as always, season entry fees will start here in about a month. So if
start making your plans for 2026.
If you like this and you enjoy watching this and you thought, hey, I would love to do that, season entry fees will be opening up in about a month, so you can come out and race with us next year for the 2026 season. He is flying.
$77.232, 10 seconds faster than what had been our fastest time on this course so far. Cody Kase showing us all why he is our points leader right now. Although I do have to point out that for the weekend, not looking at points overall, but right now for the weekend, Cody is sitting second coming into course 4.
Got Dan Carter coming out of that race line starting gate. Dan the Man Carter running that Rock Life off-road crew. Him and Brian Dunning have a podcast called Out the Top. You guys have to check out. They do a lot of recaps on the races and talk about racers and do some interviews, and it's always a good time. Dan making quick work of that uphill section there. Dan racing the full body with us this weekend, but we've seen Dan race all 3 UTV classes with 3 different chassis before, so he's always out doing some battling. They built a full body. I mean, they built a tube chassis vehicle last year, come out and do some racing with us in the Unlimited class, and he has been very competitive in that, having a lot of fun, but he said they just brought the full body out this weekend.
Come on, Dan. Dan has been a seasoned driver with us since 2019. And this 2016 Turbo XP built by Rock Life Off-Road has competed in more NRRA events than any other full body in the series right now.
Definitely seen a lot of seat time on courses. I thought I heard on the radio that his front end wasn't pulling, but I think all he has left is this little downhill in the straightaway. And again, being course 4 means his weekend is over. That's a 165.577 for Mr. Dan the Man Carter. Got that neon orange Dylan Dowler chassis sitting out there, getting ready to take off. Again, Dylan's had a great season with us, been on the podium quite a few times, and awesome to see him out here racing with us. His family was down there cheering us on in Nick Reich pits working last night.
For the weekend right now, Dylan is in the lead. Not for points overall, but for this weekend of racing. Dylan racing in the Cup class as well this weekend, so
yeah,
getting his money's worth.
He is doing a lot of racing.
8 courses.
Again, keeping those vehicles together, keeping 2 cars together for 8 courses is just brutal for out here. Getting just nice, smooth rolling downhill there. There he goes. Got hung up a little bit. .643 for Dylan Dowler. Looks like that's about a 4th place time currently on course 4. Let's take a quick look at our top 5 right now on course 4. Cody Kase sitting in the lead with a 77. Then we've got Brandon Davis with an 87. Robert Traynor with an 88.5. Dylan Dowler in 4th with an 88.6, and then Don Curtis in 5th with a 102. We got 4 drivers left before we wrap up the 2025 season of our Super Grip UTV stock class with Cohen Ellison on the line. Getting that Ellison Racing crew's been here with us all weekend, getting rigs, keeping them going. I'm sure they'll be also very grateful to get their season wrapped up. All right, clock is hot. Here we go. Again, this is course 4, so this will be wrapping up the weekend for everybody. There we go. Having a nice smooth run going. I talked to most of the racers last night that all had some kind of issues yesterday, and almost all of them said the course has been a lot of fun coming out here and just having a really good time, enjoying racing. The competition aspect is a good time, but also just enjoying some of the terrain and being able to get out there and lay some fast times down. Nobody said that, I hate this course. They've all had a really, really good weekend so far.
Yeah, one of the great things about Wildcat is how spectator friendly it is. There's not a bad seat, no matter where you are out there. But also for the drivers, like you were saying, it's just a good, well-rounded course and terrain.
Yeah. That's a 101.190 for Cohen Ellison.
Yeah, this course is great. It's nice and long. We've got the uphills. We've got the ledges. We've got the raceline rocks. We've got the dust. Wait.
We got the dust.
Wait. We didn't order that.
Wait. Delete. That's not supposed to be part of the plan. Yes, Mother Nature sometimes throws things at us like dust or rain that we don't necessarily anticipate, but, as Clyde says, hey, we're supposed to be the toughest, most hardcore off-road guys in the nation. We're going to come out, we're going to race dust, rain, snow, or shine. So very, very cool to see you guys out. And, again, I've sat in the starting gate while rain is just pouring buckets on my head. And that's how it unfolds. But, all right, coming on course here is Mr. Internet famous Bert Sevy. Again, he started off his season with a bang. Unfortunately, the 5.5 million views he accumulated was at a cost to the bulkhead in his UTV, but he got it put back together and came out with a very positive attitude and just has done a great job all season long.
Yeah, this is Bert's rookie season racing with us here with the NRRA, and I was glad to see him come back and continue with us after that rough start. But you know what? How many other drivers got 5.5 million views off of a first video? And let alone not just their first, not just a video, but his first hill ever with us.
It's true. His first one. Yeah. There's an entire weekend where I couldn't say I got 5.5 million views. He did it on his very first course.
I don't think I've ever had that many. All of them combined.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like I said, Bert came back out with just a really positive, encouraging attitude and said, that's part of racing. And he said, we still go wheel, we still break stuff. I get it. It's part of the being in the off-road community. And he said, everybody was really cool and came over and checked on us, made sure we needed something. And he said it's a lot of fun, and he said, I'll be back out. So he's done a great job this season of being competitive. And
his daughter, Aubrey Sevy, also joining in our youth class this year.
She's a great little helper, and it comes time to do the trophies. She brings them out for us.
Oh! Well, he's through the finish line, but he made it extra exciting, that's for sure. We're going to get some recovery up there and see what we need to do for him. His time was an 89.760. That was a great run from Bert Sevy. Not sure what tripped him up there at the finish line exactly, but he did some kind of tumbling.
I don't know if he caught a tree on the edge of it or... Again, he was ripping through the finish line.
The good news is this is course 4, so his weekend of racing is done now.
Yeah, if you're gonna crash or break something, do it after course 4 of finals, and at that point it doesn't
matter.
matter.
After you cross the finish line.
Yeah, you had 3 months to figure it out. So, and again, the good news is it happened off course, so I'm sure it wouldn't take him long to get course clear.
Our fastest time right now on course 4 is Cody Kase with that 77. And then we've got Brandon Davis behind him with that 87. And then after that, it looks like Robert Traynor with an 88.5. We got the word that Bert is good. We've got thumbs up. And we do have an AMSOIL action shot to share with you. You got to be paying attention.
Yeah.
You can catch a little bit of it.
So he came down that hill, hit the straightaway, and was ripping to the finish line. I'm not sure if he just clipped a tree or hit a boulder or what. Maybe caught a bad bounce. Right there. It looks like the back end kind of bobbled a little bit.
There might have been a stump involved.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I've had a few of those, and they're very solid for being small. They are very solid.
Yeah, they don't move.
They don't move much at all.
Looks like we've got Justin Hobach on the line.
All right, this is a little bit slower again. You can see that back end kind of bounce up, but it looks like he just barely clipped either a boulder or a tree or something there. As Brady said, it might have been a stump. Again, some of those, again.
I hope not, for Bert's sake.
Yeah. Sometimes those stumps kind of stick out just enough you can't really quite tell. You can't quite see them versus a bigger tree, obviously, you could pick out. But
Justin Hobach is on the line, and then we've got one more driver. That'll wrap up our Super Grip UTV stock class 2025 season. I started to drive Justin's Razor down here this morning from the campground. Noticed it was pretty low on gas. Went back up. There wasn't a whole lot left in the can, but put what was in there in it, and hopefully
You're
it's
like,
enough.
all right, here we
because
go.
it didn't change the level on the gauge.
You're like, how much we have? This much right here. That's all we have.
It's a mystery. I put some in, but it didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Justin Hobach on the course.
Again, Justin does a ton of work for us down there at starting line, helps run our kids class. Again, Justin does a lot for us. We appreciate Justin, all he does behind the scenes. I know he does a ton of stuff, as well as his wife takes care of us, gets our sheets ready for us.
Drivers running order sheets.
Yeah.
I guess we could specify what kind of sheets they are.
She does. She takes care of them, prints them off, gets them all ready for us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the Raceline Rocks strike again.
Surely he can rock it backward.
He took the cooler off the back. He should have left it all on there.
Should have.
Put a little weight back
Yeah.
there.
Need a little more gallon of gas. So a few more gallons, maybe give him some weight to.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Again, you can see the tires.
Come on, Justin. Start rocking in there. He could get out and push like DC did.
Yeah. Justin's a pretty stocky guy. I think he could definitely move that side by side enough, I think.
Seems like he's got contact on the front end. There we go. Hey, okay,
awesome.
Technically nobody laid hands on the buggy.
Yeah. Yeah. Receiving outside help, I think, does count as a little rub in his race in there, you know? There we go.
Coy Chapel on the line, and he is going to wrap up our stock class season of racing. Coy currently sitting third in points and also sitting in third for the weekend coming into this race.
Coy doing an amazing job out there getting it for us this weekend.
Getting a little rowdy out there.
He is flying right now. He is absolutely flying through there. Wow, he is ripping through there. That's got to be a quick time. That's 87.103, and again, just flying through there.
Looks like that's a second place time for course number 4.
Again, you can see all of our youth class walking down there, taking their little walk of fame to get ready for their class that they're racing here in a minute. Again, that wraps up our UTV stock class for the year. Again, that was the last class for them. Again, it's always kind of bittersweet when you wrap up for the season. It's on one hand, it's very exciting and very fun to know where your points rank. At the same time, your season is over. So it's kind of bittersweet, but we appreciate everybody coming out and pouring so hard in our UTV stock class. And a lot of Polarises, a few Can-Ams in there. All right, here's your top 10 coming out. Cody Kase finishing number 1.
This is just from course 4.
Yes, just from course 4. I saw the times, and just for the course 4, Cody Kase coming in first. Coy Chapel with that smoking time he just set in second. Brandon Davis coming in third. Robert Trainer coming in fourth, and then Dylan Dowler coming in fifth.
Bert Sevy in 6th, Cohen Ellison 7th, Don Curtis in 8th, Tucker Cesler in 9th, and then Dan Carter rounding out our top 10. That was for course 4 of our UTV stock class.
And again, that's always kind of bittersweet when you wrap up that last course for the season. It's exciting, and at the same time, you're kind of sad to be racing, but usually you're kind of also okay. You're like, I'm ready for a little bit of a break. And again, it's so awesome to see everybody as they're wrapping up for the season. We appreciate everybody coming out and trying so hard. Our awards banquet tonight will be a lot of fun, and we appreciate that. Such a battle going on, not just all season, but even this weekend. You're watching those guys having 4 courses that are just so tough. They have the stock class have had a little bit easier course than maybe the cup class. We saw a lot of crashes, some DNFs, and again, guys navigating those big jumps. We saw the rocks have given some problems. The dust, try to let settle a little bit as between courses run, but very, very good time, and we appreciate everybody tuning with us today. We're going to going to wrap up things here shortly, and then we'll come back with our youth section. And then we'll have course 4 for several classes, and then we'll be done for the day.
Yeah, so we've already completed UTV stock now. We know that Cody is our champion for stock class. We've completed our Super Grip UTV teen class. Are we gonna share all what we know of our champions so far? Or are we gonna save it?
You'll have to save some of it. Just let them check it out tonight.
Let there be a little mystery for.
Yeah. It'll be awesome. Tonight, our awards bank will be very cool to see. Again, for those guys tuning in, I'm sure they'll live stream that as well for giving the trophies out, not just for finals, but also for the whole season. We also have some very fun trophies to give away for the Bobby Tanner Award, so that'll be awesome to see.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be live streamed or not. You kind of have to be, you got to be there to experience it. It's one of those things, but it is nice to sit down for dinner with everybody. And then, like Matt said, we've got our weekend awards, we have our season awards, and all of our nice big cup trophies to give away. We've got a couple of extra, just special fun ones to give away. We've got a Skinny Pedal Award we're going to have to give out for the weekend. So we'll be doing all of that this evening once we wrap up our season of racing.
Again, little Tim Bacon picking up our Skinny Pedal Award for our last race.
Yeah, he earned that one for our Springs Ranch.
Yeah, rolled over, landed, and then had an amazing run after that. So, unfortunately, he had a big family vacation they took, so he broke a ring and pinion, and after that he loaded up, went home, dropped everything off, and then they headed to Florida for a big family vacation they take every year. So he said,
can't blame him for that.
I miss you guys, but he said, I had to go family stuff with trip we take every year, he said, but very cool. They had actually drove here anticipating they were going to, as soon as they get into racing, fly there to the family vacation. So,
all right. So we are going to take a break. We're going to shut down this feed and get into our youth class racing shortly. So you can catch that on a Rock Racing TV YouTube channel. See you in a bit.